Now, on this video, I'm going to give you the simplest formula to actually raise the capital to invest in the fastest time possible. All right? Because you know what? I actually received some calls and people are telling me, hey, you know what, Joseph? I love what you're doing. I love all those ideas that you usually give us, like index fund, like shares, stocks, money market fund, and all those kind of ways. But hey, bro, I don't have money to actually invest in those areas. By the way, my budget is very tight. I don't know exactly what I can be able to do for me to do exactly that what usually advise us to invest on. Please tell me, what exactly can I do so that at least I'm able to raise some cash and be able to invest? If you're that kind of an individual, this is the video for you, and this is what you've been waiting for. All right? And by the way, all right, there is one favor that I'm asking from you, and it's also of help to you yourself as well. Okay, I usually share these videos for free to you. The only thing I need in return is to like this video. It doesn't cost you anything. Can you just imagine? Just 1 second, click that like and also subscribe so that you don't miss any of my good videos in future whenever I upload them. Let's get into the business. I know I don't want to waste much of your time. Okay, fine, here you are. You want to raise what we call the capital. Okay, in simple terms, let's just call it a spade. Okay, it's money. You want to raise money to invest and be able to grow yourself to the next level. So, but you do not have a formula to do exactly that. Now, what do? Very first step that you ought to understand is know your numbers. The very first thing is just to know your numbers. Know your what? Know your numbers. How exactly do you do that? Know your numbers is that understand how much comes in as an income to your life or to your house. This is no problem. Everybody knows that. If I ask you how much do you make, everybody knows that. But if I ask you how much do you usually expend, or rather what are your expenses, you're like, the only sure thing that you have is your rent. I don't think there is anybody who doesn't know how much they pay for your rent. Okay, so the point is, if I ask you how much do you usually use in terms of your food, I think it's approximately, no, you're now getting it wrong. All right, you're supposed to understand how much goes for your food, how much goes for your entertainment, how much goes for your black tax, how much goes for your utilities, water, electricity, and what have you. So first thing that you're supposed to do or understand is knowing your numbers. All right, let's take an example. Say you earn like 40,000 at the end of the month, 40K. Okay, now, if you understand that, hey, I, Joseph, I earn 40,000, or I Ken, or I Martha, or whoever I am, I earn 40,000. Now, for me to survive in a typical month, I need 32,000. All right? 32,000. So what does it mean? If out of the 40,000, if you take 32,000 out of this, then you've eaten, you've dressed, you've paid your school fees, you've paid your debt, you've paid your black tax, you've paid your entertainment, and all those kind of things. Now, what happens? What is remaining? You're remaining with 8,000. All right, 8,000. Okay. Now, what does it mean? Knowing your numbers, it simply tells you like, hey, you know what comes in, you know what goes out. What goes out is that 2,000, and this one we usually call it RE. What does it mean? Recurrent expenditure. I know you have ever heard of me talking about that. Allow me to repeat once again. All right. So recurrent expenditure is that what you have to use. See, you have to drink, you have to eat, you have to dress, you have to have a shelter, you have to do all those kind of things. Okay. So there is no way you can negotiate. The only thing you can do with this 32,000 is to at least shed off some things that are not necessary. Meaning, like for example, if you realize you're paying a house rent worth like 12,000, you can migrate from the house and maybe go to a little bit affordable house. Let's say you shift from a 10,000 house, you go to a 9,000. You've actually salvaged 1,000 bob. Now that 1,000 bob you can add on the savable income, which is 8,000. Now it becomes 9,000. You can realize, hey, guess what? I usually go for an outing like 2 times a week. Hey, come on, I can do away with the 2 times. I can go for 1 time. That money usually go for 1 time, then times 4 because you have 4 weeks in a month. Now that's how you salvage yourself. So the first step is to know your numbers. And let me tell you one secret. There is no rich person who doesn't know their numbers. Most of the people who are unfortunate in our society, commonly known as the poor people, are actually the guys who do not understand their numbers. So the very first step is to understand your numbers. Okay, now after understanding your numbers, now that makes you understand how much is actually salvageable, or how much can you salvage, or how much can you be able to do what? To invest. Now it is 8,000. The next step now that you're supposed to do is that understand your target. Understand your what? Your target. What is your target? Fine. You're seated out there. You've been doing your mathematics and realize, hey, guess what? If you give me a cereal shop, then I'm good to go. I love cereal shop. I love baby shop. I love what we call hardware business. I love whichever the business that you love to. Or if I get some money, I would invest in shares. I will invest in stocks. I will invest in treasury bills. I will invest. So after identifying your target, your goal. I think I should call even a goal. After identifying your goal, now what do? You understand, hey, my goal is to do what? My goal is to start a water refilling business. My goal is to start a gas refilling business. My goal is to be actually investing 5,000 each and every month towards shares. My goal is to be able to go out there, invest on trade. So identify your goal. Once you identify your goal, now what do? You don't stop there. Now what do? You go ahead and do what? Count the cost. Count the cost. Okay, count the cost. How do you count the cost? Now you identify, okay, fine, I want to start a water refilling business. How much do I need? A water refilling business from my locality where I want to start requires me to have 200,000 at the end of the period. Okay, or my business, or let's say it's a serious business, requires me to have 150,000. My business requires me to have 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. All right. Okay. After identifying your goal, count the cost. Now it requires you to have a what? For example, requires you to have like 80,000. I'm using this for the purposes of example. Requires me to have 80,000. Or say I want to be investing on treasury bills, or I want to be investing on stocks each and every month, 5,000. Okay, fine. The point is this: after counting the cost, now what do? You pay the price. Pay the price. What does it mean? Paying the price here involves discipline and consistency and sacrifices as well. If you can be able to salvage 80,000, your target is 80,000, then it means you require yourself a what? A 10-month period. That's for a fact. You see, when I say count the cost, it is 80,000. Pay the price. Pay the price is what? It's sacrificing yourself and being disciplined for the next 10 months to be able to raise 80,000 with a rate of 8,000 per month. All right. Now, let's say your business requires you to have 1,000,000 bob. Now you count and realize how much you can be able to salvage. Then divide that by the period of time that you're required to do exactly that. And once you do that, you'll have your money. Okay. Now, see, when I say pay the price, this is where people get the difference. Anyone can actually learn how to know their price. No problem. No problem. Let's say here we start with like 100 people. Okay, let me show you why most of the people don't become successful in life. Here we start with like 100 people. Okay, after starting with 100 people, you tell them, know your price, know your numbers. No problem. Everybody goes back, takes a pen and paper, solve some information down, and now I now understand my price now. Okay, I can be able to save 10,000 at the end of the month. No problem. Everyone does. So fine. Every 100 people, the 100 guys can actually, all of them, 100% can transit to the next level. Understand your target. No problem, no problem, no problem. My target is to do what? Buy a piece of land worth 650,000 Kenyan shillings. No problem. Again, everyone here understands what is their goal. I've never seen anybody who doesn't know their goals. And if you do not know your goals, I don't think you are on the right track. Okay, in this planet Earth that we live, you have to have yourself a goal. Okay, now everybody can actually understand their goal. There's no you don't require any effort. I mean, just knowing, okay, fine, I want to start a serial business. I want to start a butchery. I want to start whatever. Everybody and anybody can do exactly that. There's no problem. Okay, now the next step is 100% transition. You know why? Count the cost. Everybody can do so. Take a pen and paper, some calculation. 1, 2, 3, pa. I save 10,000 per month. I require 100,000. So then it means I need 10 months. Fine. I need what? 100,000. Fine, no problem. Anybody can do that. But where the difference now becomes in is when we say what? Pay the price. Now this is where you find most of the people shift away. By the time you are nearing the 10th month, if that's what we require to save, or rather raise the amount of money that we want, or maybe 2 years or 3, so whichever the period of time, depends with your mathematics. By the time now you get that amount of money, hey, I'm telling you, my friend, you find like we were 100. You find like, hey, 10 people have dropped, 30 people have dropped, 13, 10, 6. By the time now you are getting into the goal, now we have like, by the way, statistics say close to only 15% of the 100, only 15 people will manage to actually do what? Be able to raise that goal. Again, do you know what happened now here? It's actualization, to actualize. This is another milestone. I am telling you, a lot of people tend to think like having the capital or getting the capital is the hardest thing. There is nothing hard like getting to the ground, executing that specific idea that you've been thinking throughout the time. At this particular point you have, guys, for example, I'll give you a very simple example. When this year was starting, I actually made a video and told you guys how you can be able to make or save 66,800 or 700, around there. Okay, and a lot of people were like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's amazing. That's so good. I mean, that's a good idea. Let's get into the, hey, Joseph, I want that template. Then a lot of people came for the template and told them, and I told them, hey, guess what, guys? I know you guys, if you get the template and get away by yourself, you might lose the track on the way. How about I do have a WhatsApp group? Let's meet there. Let's give us our morale, and so that you can progress to the next level. Yeah, that's a good idea. I want to be there. I am telling you. People don't even comment nowadays. People, they're just like that. They're just dull. You don't know what's going on. I am telling you, consistency, discipline, and sacrifice is what differentiates a winner and a loser. Guess what now? Here we are. We have the capital for ourselves. Now, what happens? Now, we have 15 guys with their capital. Straightforward. They have their 100K. They have their 2 million. Depends on whatever the amount of money is, okay? Now, whenever it comes to actualization, now they go back on board now. Oi, are you sure this business will work? Wow, wow, wow. Are you sure we are doing the right thing? Wow, I'm fearing. Can we lose money? I don't know. Okay, how can you assure me that if I invest this money, I won't lose it? What can I do? Hey, have you ever tried it before? Would you mind if you can connect with somebody who is doing the business? And by the way, how much am I expecting to make in a day? Wow, I'm worried. You know, it's the only money that... Now, once you start talking like that, you actually vibrate negative energy to a point whereby even actualizing that business becomes a little bit of a problem. And then you become too much clingy to your money to a point whereby you cannot even release it, invest it, and progress to the next level. That's the problem. And this is the issue that is holding most of the people towards the development. That, for a fact, has remained to be the same, and I'm worried, what exactly can we do for the purposes of this? So what I can tell you guys, at the end of the day, once you'll be able to manage to raise your capital, it's always good to make sure that at least you have the courage, you have the zeal, you have the motivation, you have the confidence, you have the identification, you have the news, you are a risk taker, you are sort of a crazy individual, because those are the qualifications that you need for you to go out there and capitalize, actualize, and also execute that specific investments or a business that you're looking forward into having. Now, exactly. Now, those are 5 steps that you ought to follow them to actually be able to raise the capital that you need in the fastest way for you to be able to invest, for you to achieve what we call the financial freedom and actually becoming what we call the financially free. I wish it was easier than that, but I'm telling you, it is never ever as you think. It's not a click of a button. If it's so, then by default, most of the people that you're seeing around ought to be making a humongous amount of money. You ought to follow a certain procedure. Don't cheat the process, because if you do, you're gonna harm yourself along the way. All right? Guess what, guys? If you are out there, you are a bit confused, you would love to have a customized information, customized sort of what we call, take through, sort of a service from me, you can always grab my number from the description of this specific video. Let's have a conversation. I offer those services at a personal level. People always ask me, Joseph, where are your numbers? Yeah, I know some people don't even watch the video to the end. For those who have managed to watch this video to the end, this is where you get my number. Below where we have like my likes and the what and whatever, just below there is somewhere written more. Click that more, and then a description will come up, and then below there you'll see contact. Then my number is out there, and you can actually pick it up, shoot me a call, or give me a text on my WhatsApp, and let's have a conversation over that. And obviously, it's for a cup of coffee's price, all right? Just for an appreciation, not charging, but just for an appreciation. Anyway, for now, it's a goodbye, but don't forget, like this video. And if it's your first time watching my videos, I am Joseph. I talk about money, investment, and anything related to exactly that. If that's a cup of your coffee, make sure that you comment down below and tell me more if you would like me to make more of this. And let's proceed to the next level. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.